So I've got a special guest coming on the channel today. He's famous, tour coach, famous for creating easy, effortless golf swing. He's going to show you how you can hit drivers straight in a really easy, effortless way with one incredible drill. I'm going to bring him on very, very shortly. But before I do, look, if you're new to the channel, so your first lessons of mine, please consider subscribing. Only videos like this one every single week to try and help you improve your game. But you never have to remember a thing. Whatever you see in this video, I'll put it into a free download practice guide in that description box below. Let's get started. Right, driving.
Yeah.
So, number one question I get on the channel, how to hit driver straight. So, guys, you know, the average amateur golfer slicing it, struggling with contact, they want to have more distance. But again, if somebody's struggling to hit those fairways, basically,
Yes.
where do you start?
Struggling to hit fairways, you would have to look at the face and the path, right?
Yeah.
Usually, you'd also have to look at centerness of strike and where they're hitting it on the face. But honestly, I see that very often going with where the path is coming from.
Yes.
So I'd make sure that the face and the path are in a good spot.
Could you explain this? Just for the people watching, what do you mean by the face and path yourself?
So basically, to get the description of, okay, people are slicing the golf ball, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they're actually hitting like these really weak balls that's cut from left to right if they're a right-handed golfer.
Yeah.
And then every now and then they catch one really good and they go, oh, I caught it. But then they look up and it's like 50 to 60, maybe even 70, just straight left, right?
Yeah.
And they would come and they go, I want to get more consistent. I want to hit it straighter. I want to do these different things. And usually what ends up happening is that they're actually, if you put them on a launch monitor, the club path is fairly consistent.
Yes.
It's just in a non-functional place.
It's going in.
It's going in this direction.
That direction.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, if I was swinging, if I was going this way,
Yeah.
but my path is going this way, the only way to hit a functional golf shot in the fairway is to have the face angle open to that path.
Yeah.
So I can get the ball kind of starting a little bit towards my target, and then it curves away from the path, which adds the right curve, right?
Yeah. Which is where that slice is coming from.
For sure.
Yep.
So that gets us into basically direction, which would have an effect on distance.
Yes.
So again, we're reversing the order a little bit, but it would have an effect on this. So I would look at that. First of all, I'd look at what are you setting up to hit?
Yeah.
And I would also look at what's your intention. What are you trying to do?
Yeah. So right before looking at swing, somebody comes to you with a slice and you're going to go, what have you got at the start of your swing just to set up a lawn?
What's there?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would somebody typically look like if they're slicing?
If they're slicing the ball,
Yeah.
what would they look like? They have usually, if they've done a little bit of an impression on golf, or they've talked to a couple of people, they usually have an intention of hitting up.
Yeah.
Which means that their ball position is forward in their stance.
Yes.
Which is fine,
Yep.
having the ball position forward. What I will see is how they get to that forward ball position. So let's just say I put it between my left big toe and my left heel.
Yep.
Is that usually their pelvis stays in the middle of their stance, and the very first thing they do is that they turn their torso to their left
To reach the ball.
to get to that golf ball.
Yeah.
Now really, if I'm setting up to it right here, you can probably see it from the face-on view, that I've got my upper body in front of my lower body.
Yep.
It's the very first thing, and all of a sudden they'll probably also see that the face is actually pointed to the left.
Yeah.
Then they'll open the face up. Now, if I was going to slice the golf ball, this is exactly what I'd do.
That's a perfect setup for a slice.
Perfect. I'd put the ball forward, I'd keep my pelvis in place, I'd get my upper body turning to the left, and I'd point the face at the target.
So just from there, you've got your shoulders left,
Yep.
forearms left, face towards target.
There you go.
Everything.
Right.
So the path is basically left of where that face is aiming.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would be the very first thing I'd look at.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there can be different orders to this, but what I would do normally is that I would start by closing the face to the path.
Yeah.
Because I think as long as people are seeing these golf balls cut out to the right, if we just change their path, they just basically taken that cut that was, or slice that was functional.
Yes.
And now we're just moving it out to the right. So now it starts rights and cuts.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think you want to incentivize it a little bit and give them a reason to move their path more to the right.
Yeah. And it feels better, doesn't it? If you even those ones that go like left, They feel good, those ones, because they
Yeah.
feel powerful, they feel strong.
You're feeling the compression, right?
the
You're
compression.
feeling the face and the path
Yeah.
line up, and you're going, wow, I actually caught one that didn't.
You just want that in that direction.
In that
basically.
direction,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
So let's start by, and I'll explain that.
Yeah.
Let's start by actually pulling or pull hooking some golf shots.
Yeah.
Easiest way to do that is close the face to the path.
Okay.
Now, in my opinion, the easiest way to explain that is actually, it becomes a grip change, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But it becomes a lot more on where is my club face pointing compared to my forearms.
Okay.
So right now, if you look at it, you can see that my forearms are pointing kind of down and to the
Down,
left
yeah.
compared to where the face angle is.
Which is there.
Now, if I can change that, so let's just say I took my forearms and I turned them to the left as much as I could.
Yeah.
Now this face angle is pointing really far to the left.
Yeah.
But I actually aligned my forearms differently.
Yeah. So
Now the face is still pointing at the target,
But
but
anything
compared to me, it's pointing in a completely different direction.
Yeah. So you've completely shifted the path,
Yeah.
just like that.
I've shifted the path and I've shifted the face to that path.
Yeah. So it's like the opposite of what we just done.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't see many slicers where if I look from down the line, where I can see their lead forearm on top or over their trail forearm.
Just for camera,
Yeah.
show the opposite. So look, this one here is now aiming in that direction. It's going
Yep.
to send the path more lightly
Yeah.
to the right.
Yep.
So the opposite would be this way.
Yes.
Yeah. Got it.
I see this
Yeah. Me too.
all day.
Yeah.
I think it's intuitive because the ball's over there.
Yeah. And that's what they've done to kind of reach it.
Yes.
Yeah, and also I suppose I presume as well, one of the things is if people start seeing that ball curving,
Yeah.
they're almost in that mental avoidance kind of mechanism. I don't want it to go right, so they're kind of even more and more trying to.
Right? Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to go right, so I swing left.
Yeah.
It's my job security is
Yeah.
that golf is not intuitive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, and I think there's something in people being mostly right-handed too, where it kind of feels
Yeah.
like I'm controlling something from up here and the right arm is reaching and it's straight and nice.
Yeah.
Where all the time, close the face and then point the face back to the right by changing your forearm orientation.
You can already
Not-
see it almost like that's shifting the whole shape of the body as well.
For
isn't it?
sure.
Yeah, naturally.
For sure.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I've got this face angle close to that path.
Love it.
So that would be, without a doubt, the very first place to look.
Great. Great
Now,
first step.
again, you'd want, in real life, the face dictates the start direction and the ball curves away from the path.
Yes.
But for a lot of people who slice it, intuitively, what you want them to do is to actually close the face to the path so the ball curves to the left,
Yes.
and then get a feel that the path is your start direction.
Yes.
So if I set up to the golf ball, I'm trying to demonstrate one. If I set up to one and I actually pull hook a golf ball.
So that ball's now big movement right to left.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where we want to go.
Exactly.
Yes.
That would be the very first step.
Yeah.
And then step number 2, from there.
And just so the people watching, don't be, really important not to be afraid of that. I mean, that's one of the real goals. If you've been a slicer
Yeah.
of a golf ball, Andreas has played this lovely little hook there. Now, that's kind of a brilliant place to start, isn't
Yes.
it? Because if you can do that, you've just shown a wonderful way. You've proved to yourself that actually you can now move that ball
Exactly.
both ways.
And that is step number 1.
Yeah.
I think it becomes too much if I'm trying to change the face and the path at the same
At the same
time.
time, yeah.
So can I keep these feels in my wrists and in my club head?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I can actually keep doing this, and then I can start the ball further to the right by actually getting a sensation. I'm hitting this thing. I'm
Yeah.
swinging this thing to the right,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
So I'm setting up to it like here, and now all of a sudden I can start drawing these golf balls.
And that starting direction there now much more right. It's not sliced in any shape or
No,
form.
I drew back a little bit.
Wind's kind of holding it off a little bit,
Yeah.
but that's a completely different start. That's playable.
Yes,
Much more playable.
where it makes total sense.
And actually, Andreas, if you look at that flight, that's going to be. It's also more powerful because all the energy is going into the back of the ball, isn't it?
Yeah.
Versus glancing across it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you get the same issue, right? You get people who show up and they go, feel like my 7, 6, 5, and 4 iron are going the same distance,
Yeah.
and I'm not, compared to the amount of effort I put in, my ball's not going anywhere. Well, it's
Yeah.
because you're putting the effort in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say this is not as much it's trying to hit it straighter, and you get the distance for free.
Yes.
Because that ball speed's going to go up tremendously.
Yeah.
But I think, again, checking the setup, making sure that to start with, I'm at least aligned. I know I need to swing more to the right. I just can't get myself to do it. You know what? That's probably your intuition being pretty good.
Yes.
That my face angle is open to my arms or my forearms. My chest is pointed to the left. And I know deep down that if I actually try to swing more to the right, like that thing is not even in play anymore.
So you're saying in reality, is golfers intuitively are doing a pretty damn good job at basically trying to solve the issues that they've built into setup.
Yeah, for
basically.
sure. For
so
sure.
they're doing a really good job, and actually try to change their swing is pretty futile unless you get that.
Yeah,
setup.
you gotta, and again, you don't get, it doesn't matter the skill level, you don't get that many opportunities to put stuff in. You can't add too many things.
No.
Now you can actually, when the ball's sitting still and you're not moving, you've got a little bit of a chance to actually think.
Yeah.
Right? So you can actually have some sort of order where it's, okay, I'm gonna make sure my ball position's good. I'm gonna stand up straight. I'm gonna close the face, and then I'm gonna open the face back up by changing my shoulder orientation or my arm orientation. And then maybe in the swing, you get an opportunity to have like one thing. You don't get two.
No. But you've pretty cured a stack of things just in that one thing there.
I think so.
And I think what I love about that as well, Andreas, is it's kind of, there's no skill involved with that.
No.
I mean, that's kind of, in a sense, anybody can actually do that.
There might be a little bit of attack on the ego because it's going to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
But that's almost like learning how to, I don't know, if you're going to do like this with your fingers, it might be a little tense in the beginning.
Still gotta do that.
It might be a little tense in the beginning, but that's because your brain's trying to figure out, like, I've never done this before, so tension could happen.
Yeah.
It could be a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But ball doesn't really lie.
No.
If you learn how to really hit low hooks first,
Yes.
then you got the opportunity to actually move your path to the right and actually hit functional golf shots.
So I don't know about you, but don't think things come any simpler than that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. And if you want to find out more about Andreas Kali and get a free practice plan, do check out the description box below. And of course, look, if you're looking at adding more distance to your driver, check this video out I did here with #2 golfer Xander Schauffele. The feedback on it has been really brilliant because of its simplicity. But until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.